Hi, I'm Courtney Deitch with Honeysuckle and Pearl. And today I brought in Vanessa Hardy. She's one of my patients, but she's also a registered dietitian and she knows a lot of really, really good things. And I want to talk about prenatal vitamins. And we're back without the baby. We had somebody come, a little babysitter come get him so we could talk about more about this. So I want you to explain to me the difference between folic acid and methylated folate.
So folic acid is actually a man-made product. They spray it over, all of our produce and vegetables and grains. But methylated folate is a natural form of folate. And so what happens is our body is able to synthesize it. With folic acid, we have to process the folic acid into folate. Methylated folate, it's already processed for our body. So
Right, our body assimilates that much better.
yes. It's easier. So it's already a good source of it. Our body doesn't have to work to turn it back into methylated folate. We are consuming it as needed or as it should be. With folic acid, like I said, it is a man-made product. Our body will need to synthesize that to turn it into what we need for the body.
Right. And a lot of our population cannot even absorb folic acid.
Right. So over 50% of the population, over 50% of the population has the MTHFR gene mutation, and they don't have the ability to process the folic acid. So it actually can be a toxic to
Exactly.
the body. And so what they're seeing is they're seeing muscle development or neuromuscular development issues, cognitive decline, that type of thing with folic acid. So really, we all should just be taking methylated folate.
Exactly, because you're not sure if you have that gene or not. So everybody should be on a form of methylated folate that your body can absorb. So it's easier to absorb. And if you do have that gene, it's not toxic. And folic acid is in all of our food. So the more we can avoid that with our prenatals, the better off everybody is.
Right. And toxic levels too. We've seen issues with, because it's being sprayed so much, and then we're intaking folic acid. They've done studies over in other countries that have seen toxicity to it. So they're seeing, like I had mentioned earlier, neuromuscular issues, cognitive issues. Which is really interesting to kind of dive into. But that's why, a lot of us, organic produce is going to be better too. Because it's not sprayed with that folic acid. But also, kind of jumping back to the prenatals, I mean, you're basically, if you don't know if you have the MTHFR gene mutation, you're basically intaking a toxin into your body.
Exactly.
If you're not, since you're not able to process the folic acid. So choline is another one that isn't in a lot of prenatals, but we need to make sure it is in prenatals. I would recommend 50% or higher, which is actually kind of hard to find, but
can you find choline in a separate vitamin?
You can. But that is a really, really important nutrient to have in your prenatal. It helps. They've actually seen with cognitive development as far as IQ issues, behavioral issues with choline. So we really want to make sure it's very underrepresented when it comes to, we talk about vitamin D, we talk about the B vitamins, calcium, vitamin D. Vitamin D is also magnesium is a really important one. A lot of people don't know that you need magnesium for the vitamin D absorption. It helps increase the absorption. So magnesium is really important to have in the prenatal with the vitamin D.
And it also helps you sleep at night. It helps you with constipation and using the restroom. So magnesium is super, super important.
Right. They have a prenatal, it's called, I might be mispronouncing it. It's Perrel, Perrel. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I haven't taken it because it is, full discretion, it's kind of more on the expensive side. But when we're talking about cheap prenatals, it's really important to stress that if you're going to save money, prenatals is not where you want to save
Exactly.
money.
Exactly. That's so important for
It's
development of your baby in utero
yes.
and breastfeeding. That's also all that
Mm-hmm.
nutrition is going to the baby.
Right, right. So probiotics. So that's kind of what when we talked about magnesium, a good probiotic is really important too.
For gut health.
And because it helps with the immune system of your baby when you are having a vaginal birth. So it's really important to have a good gut health.
And a lot of these mamas are on antibiotics. If they have to have a C-section, you're on antibiotics. If they are GBS positive, they have to have antibiotics. And it is so important to take a good quality probiotic anytime that you're on antibiotics for gut health.
Right. So that prenatal I was mentioning, it's like, you can, there's discount codes out there, but it has probiotics integrated with it. It also has a good source of choline. It's not my most favorite. I think it's like at 50% of choline, but it has vitamin D in it, a good source of vitamin D, all the B6, calcium, magnesium. It's a really good one. So you're not having to buy all separate like we had talked about if you don't have it in choline. Choline's a really important one that isn't in a lot of prenatals. So it's cheaper to buy a good prenatal with choline in it
rather than having to buy a bunch of different supplements separately.
Right.
And I think that is a good investment in your health when you're pregnant and when you're nursing. They are a little bit pricier to get a good vitamin, but I just don't think you can put a price tag on your baby's health and on your health. I mean, childbirth and being pregnant is hard on the body, and you want vitamins that your body can digest and assimilate.
Right. And that's going back to that folic acid. That's really the biggest thing. It's, a lot of people see folic acid, and really you can go online and see these reputable sources that are saying take in folic acid, but your body could potentially not be able to process the folic acid. So it's just, we might as well just all be taking methylated folate, make it easier on our bodies. I don't really find much of a difference in prices either. So I don't.
Well, it depends on what store you're going to and
Sure.
what quality vitamin you're buying. The cheapest vitamins are usually not quality. Oh, baby. So we want to make sure that we get a quality vitamin, and they do end up being a little bit pricier than the cheaper vitamins.
Right. So it is really important to spend spend money on a good prenatal. And your needs do change from during the trimesters too. So like your need for B6 and methylated folate is higher in the first trimester versus the second and the third. So that's really important too to, if you're going to take a prenatal, right, and you're going to take, folate or methylated folate, it's really important to start taking that prenatal really before you even conceive.
Exactly. If you plan on getting pregnant.
Exactly.
And not everybody knows, but if you do plan on it, it's great to start taking it sooner rather than later.
Right. So better always to take it earlier, but always just try taking it, whether you didn't take it in the first trimester, just
anytime's better than none. Exactly. Even if we start taking it when we're breastfeeding. Anytime taking it is better than none. Well, thank you so much, Vanessa, for coming and discussing that with me. I think it's a very, very important topic that we're talking about these things, nutrition and vitamins and supplements. So maybe we can get back together and do it again sometime.
I'd love to.
We have so many things we love to talk about.
I know. I'd love to. Sounds fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.